Bonjour, this is Cyril from Work Smarter, Live Better. In this video, I want to share the power of small things done regularly. Last week I was in Melbourne doing a training for a group of managers and I loved it actually. It was a full day, it was live, it was face-to-face, a lot of energy, the first session of a 3-4 month journey, and yeah, absolutely loved it. But for those who know what it is to be on your feet or a whole day, I was a bit tired at the end of the day, and so I went back to the airport. I live in Sydney, so I went back to the airport to take my flight, and while I'm in a taxi, got the SMS that my flight is delayed for about an hour and a half. Which is, I calculate very quickly, means that I'm going to be very late in bed. So anyway, I got to the airport, went to the Qantas desk and had a chat with Stephen, the customer service person there. And I had a discussion with Stephen, and it's, in my mind, I could have been angry, an hour and a half late, I was tired, I had a flexible ticket, and I asked Stephen, and I said, can you put me on an earlier flight? And what I didn't know is there had been heavy winds that day. They had closed the runway, there was only one runway available, and so all flights were full, there were delays everywhere, and you can imagine the kind of stress for the customer service at the desk, and the kind of, hate, or I don't know what's the right word, that they were getting. And so I really thought to myself, I can be either angry or I can just accept it and actually be quite grateful for what I have. And so I had a very simple discussion with Stephen. I said, look, I've got a flexible fare. If you can put me to an earlier flight, great. If you can't, no big deal, not the end of the world. And at the back of my mind, I thought, it's really first world problem, oh my God, my flight is delayed for an hour. I'm still going to be on time flying with, this airline. Anyway, unbeknown to me, a friend of mine, Gabrielle, was watching, but she didn't recognize me at first, and she was watching in the background. By the way, Gabrielle is an amazing speaker. She's an international speaker. She's a best-selling author. Gabrielle Dolan, she works with companies around the world, helping their people to tell better stories. Amazing, amazing, beautiful lady. And she was observing this, and she only recognized me at the end of this when I was actually rushing to try to get the flight, which I didn't get. And so she contacted me and said, Cyril, do you mind if I write a little post about it? And I said, of course, yes. And so she wrote a beautiful post about it. I really hesitated to do this video because honestly, my aim is not to boast about how I reacted with Stephen. And funny enough, I'm how do we say in temperament? Melancholic, choleric. So the choleric is the driver and the melancholic is the organizer, which means that I can be quite critical. Ask TK, my wife, I can really, there's one little thing that is not working and I'm like, oh no, why is it not working, and so on. But a few years ago, I started a very simple, I don't know what to call it. It's routine, but it's so small. Every evening, when I go to bed, I have a little notepad on my bedside table, and I just write 3 things I'm very grateful for. And it actually started changing my perspective of life, where, wow, there's so many things that you can be grateful for. And so that day with Stephen, I was grateful there was someone to help me. I was grateful to be in a country and living in Australia, which is an amazing place to live. I was grateful that I was going to go back anyway. There was going to be a flight for me going back, and yes, I'm going to be delayed, but still flying in great condition. And so there was so many, I was grateful to have had such a beautiful day with my clients. There was so many things to be grateful. And what I want to share with you is the power of habits. And even further, the power of small things, tiny things, insignificant things that you do on a regular basis. The example for me was every day spending 2 minutes at the end of every day asking myself the 3 things I'm very grateful for. So let me ask you, what is one simple thing, one simple routine, one simple habit that if you do on a regular basis could really have an impact for you? This is this week Work Smarter, Live Better tip. You have a lovely day. À bientôt.